Okay, guys, adding and subtracting fractions. Now, we've been finding common denominators so that we can add and subtract fractions, because to do that, to add and subtract fractions, we have to have common denominators, all right? So, the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find out what the common denominator, the least common denominator is. And to do that, I need to factor. Okay? So, this first one factored is going to be n squared times n minus 5. Okay? This next one factor is going to be n times n plus 5. Okay? Now, you'll remember when we're doing least common denominators, we need to be able to make both denominators from the least common denominator. So on this first one, I'm going to need definitely an n times n minus 5. Okay? That's that one. Okay? To make the next denominator, I need an n, but I've already got it. And I need an n plus 5. Okay? N plus 5. So that's the least common denominator. All right? Fair enough. Let's give ourselves a little bit more room. Well, let me scoot this up just a bit. Okay? Now, let's see. Oh, I need to scoot up a little bit more. James, what did I add to the denominator of the first fraction? Let's see. It's 2n right now, okay? And I needed to multiply, or I added an n plus 5 to the denominator. I multiplied an n plus 5 to the denominator, so I need to do that to the numerator as well. All right? So it's going to be n times n minus 5 times n plus 5. We'll simplify that stuff in just a second. All right? Now, the next denominator, Chris, what did I multiply the second denominator by to get the common denominator? Let's see, I multiplied an n and an n minus 5, right? Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I need to put that on top. Here we go. All right, 2 times n and n minus 5 to get n times n minus 5 and n plus 5. Okay? Now we're ready to start simplifying, right, Winslow? Okay, Winslow, I want you to help me out. When I'm simplifying this first fraction, what do I get on top? 2n cubed, thank you, and plus 10n. Nice. I'm sorry. This is squared, 2n squared. There we go. All over n squared times n minus 5 times n plus 5. All right. Thanks, Winslow. Okay, what do I get on the numerator, Mark, of that second fraction? 2n squared. Good. And what? Negative 10n. Good. And then I've got n squared times n minus 5 times n plus 5 on the bottom. So these things have common denominators. Can I put them in just one fraction now? Okay. So it's going to be 2n squared plus 10n plus 2n squared minus 10n, the quantity, all over n squared times n minus 5 times n plus 5. Good. Now I've got just one fraction. Now I just need to simplify that thing. Okay? So let's see. On top, I'm going to get 2n squared plus 10n plus 2n squared minus 10n, all over n squared times n minus 5 times n plus 5. Okay, getting closer, Mr. C. You're doing a lot of writing. I'm going to combine, Kyle, the n squareds, and I'm going to get 4n squared, and I'm going to combine the 10n and the negative 10n, and that just cancels out. All over n squared times n minus 5 times n plus 5. All right. Does anybody see anything I can cancel out? Connor, the n squareds, am I ready to do that? No. Before I cancel out, I always say what n cannot be. Just looking at this, n cannot equal 0, because that would make n squared equal 0. What else can it not equal, Patrick? 5. Good.